talk about this technology. Again, the company's Isotope.
So Isotope, we're based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We just released this product. It's Stutter Edit. I released it a couple days ago, first day of NAMM. It's a live editing, stuttering, glitching audio application. It's an audio effect for VSC, RTAS, and AU as an AU plugin.
Say that, back up. people, DJs primarily, but even effects for music creators, people who are creating their music. This is like cutting edge, new, interesting way of messing with your audio, right?
It is indeed. You can remix and edit and chop up your audio on the fly as a DJ or performer, as well as in the studio. So you can do a lot of really interesting things with it. It's fully customizable to do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
So I can play some audio for you real quick so you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Right.
Everything.
Just for people out there too, Isotope stuff is deep. It's deep, it's interesting, it's cutting edge. So if some of this is going over your head, dig into their website a little bit to get your foundation down or some of our materials, and then you'll start to get how cool they are and how like cutting edge this stuff is. So go for it.
There's actually a 10-day free trial on our website, isotope.com.
Oh, really?
If you want to check it out and wrap your head around it and get playing with it right away, it's a lot of fun.
I think it'll take a lot of people more than 10 days. I think it's going to take me more than 10 days. So.
All right, so here's Stutter. I'll try and help you out right now. I can assign different gestures to MIDI keys.
Okay, you gotta hit stop while you're talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in order to trigger gestures, I can hit MIDI keys to do different effects and gestures, and I'll show you right now how that's possible. Everything in Stutter is lined up to a grid, so you can do kick rolls, snare rolls, DJ fills, breakdowns, and all sorts of cool things. And everything's on the beat and you can do rhythmic stuff. You can do all sorts of really cool things.
Rhythmic beat chopping. Now, normally what you'd have to do that. Well, actually, let me back up a little bit. So what we're hearing, what he's playing in the background, turn it up just so they can hear the fundamental beat that's going on. There's the track. There's the track, right? The basic track. So when he's hitting these MIDI keys here, MIDI's going into the computer via USB. We see our USB cable here.
It's routing to the MIDI track here, and it's setting to audio 2 to Isotope Stutter Edit. Where then I have my audio here. I have all my tracks lined up, so I can DJ them and perform them and start them all in real time.
Right. Okay. So then it's going through Stutter, and all the stuff you're hearing from the basic beat we were hearing. That's all getting done in real time by this. Now this is also reading the tempo of the tune. Is it reading a tempo map? This is
it's a tempo map.
Ableton?
Yep, it's Ableton Live, so it's reading tempo map from Ableton. It's also telling you what beat we're on in the session as well. So that way you can do different beat stuff where you have your kick drum or your snare drum on 2 or on 1. You can determine in the buffer here where you want it to go. So right now I have this for doing snare rolls, and I have this one for doing kick rolls, and I can program that all on the fly. It's really easy to customize once you get through that buffer.
All right, let her rip. Let her rip a little bit.
And again, it's a 10-day free trial on our website. Full retail price is $249, and right now it's a promotional period for the next 28 days or so. It'll be $149. And again,
wow,
that's
$149?
Yep.
Really?
Yep, all from our website. If you want to download it, try it out for 10 days, and then check it out and purchase it right from our website.
Yeah, you can put a sticker on your head. So basically, okay, let's look a little deeper at some of this stuff. Low pass filter. Basically, that's taking everything above a certain frequency and letting it go by.
Yep.
We have the stutter thing, and that's the like 8-note stutters, and it goes up to what BT was here showing this off. I filmed a bit of him, film video, whatever they call it these days. But he was saying it can go all the way up to like 105/12th of a beat or something crazy.
1024th notes, and then you can even go into pitch content here, which you can select. So the theory behind that is basically if you have a stutter, a small slice of audio, and you play it fast enough and repeat it over and over, eventually it becomes pitched content. So you can actually determine within Stutter Edit what notes you actually want to hit. So if you have a song that's in the key of C, you can then determine, I want to make sure it stays in a C major chord whenever it arpeggiates up there. Then you actually determine that on the fly if you want to. If you want to change it to another key or whatever you want to. It's really cool. You can get some cool effects that way, cool melodic effects. It's a lot of fun to mess around with.
All right. Can you do some of that? And so people seeing the stutter part of it, jump pan, so it's doing panning automatically, right?
Yep. You can jump pan, so it pans on different stutters. You have gate width where you can change the size of each stutter. You can quantize the different stutter amounts that you have, different I guess gesture size and stutter size that you have. You can either do it stepwise for each individual parameter, or you can do linearly. It'll scroll through, like you heard before when I was doing that kind of bouncing ball motion, would scroll through the different stutter sizes.
Wow.
You can do stereo delay as well, and bandpass that delay. You have a low pass filter and high pass filter, bit reduction, a lo-fi, dry gain if you want a little bit to bleed in through, and then effect gain so you can change how quiet or how loud the effect gets. And all that's customizable per gesture. So all this right now
is gesture. You mean customizable, and the gestures when you're hitting the keyboard.
That is right.
That's the gesture that triggers these.
Exactly. So this whole snapshot right here is saved on this gesture right here that I have selected. And if I go to a different gesture, it is now having a different whole snapshot of stutter edit. And so I can change on the fly what parameters I'm using per MIDI key.
So what he's doing here, he's hitting a key, and when he's hitting the key on the keyboard, it's changing the whole setup of the plugin, basically.
Yep, that's correct.
So the gesture, like, triggers stuff, entire stuff to come on, and that's done by when you're holding it down, it engages it, and when you let up, it disengages it.
You can also customize that per gesture. Right now I have this on instant, so the instant I let go, it'll stop, but I can also do a pull gesture, and the gesture length is shown here for 1 bar, and I can change that length as well. So I can do a latch as well, where I hit the note down, and if I let go, it'll keep playing that gesture until I hit that key again. So I can really customize how things are going. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty slick that way. It's kind of fun. All right. You can really customize it however you want. And in the preset manager over here, you can customize your MIDI keyboard setup to do basically what you ever want it to do to perform stuff. If you want to rearrange your whole setup, your whole rig, you can easily do that by dragging and dropping. You can copy presets and paste them to different keys. You can make variations on that. And it's pretty intuitive and easy to work with that way. I made a bunch of variations of the same preset in 5 minutes before the show today, just so I can play around with it and have different rhythmic stuff I can mess around with on the fly.
You mean you didn't prep this stuff weeks in advance?
Oh no, I did it this morning.
No, I did trade show presentations for 7 years for Pro Tools, right? On Pro Tools. And yeah, it's amazing how much stuff like last minute you're just trying.
Yeah.
So either way, well, tell you what, put the song on an area of the song where it's kind of doing the same thing for a while.
Okay.
So people have that basis of like, okay, here's a groove, and then let stutter edit do its thing, or do some stutter editing, I guess it would be called. Here we go. Here's our groove.
See, I changed that one on the fly now. I don't even hear that one, but got all sorts of stuff going on.
So that's stutter edit. Now, what else do you guys have? Are you able on this machine to show anything else? Or?
I just have stutter on this machine right here, but over there we have RX2,
noise reduction,
alloy,
amazing noise reduction. If you haven't, this video will get a lot of isotope noise reduction, and this stuff works amazing. And then Alloy is the new vocal processing one.
Nectar's the new vocal processing, and that's available to demo over there as well. Alloys are more versatile, like Swiss Army knife plugin, where you can have EQ, transient designer, there's harmonic exciter, and everything. A lot of it's in multiband as well, so you control everything really like you would expect to do with our plugins. So
excellent.
It's a lot of fun stuff to work.